Here's how I want to start the show today. Your favorite week one bet in the NFL.
There's a couple that I like, Sia, but I'm starting off with the Minnesota Vikings. I love this number on them. You can find them +1 or -1 in the market, depending on the juice you want to pay. But I make them -2.5 against the Giants. I do not believe in this New York Giants team at all with what they've done in the offseason. And I think that the Vikings are simply being slept on a little bit because we don't necessarily know who is going to be the starting quarterback for them come week one. But I don't think it matters. When you look at the skill position players that they have, I think they have a significant edge. I like the coaching staff. You watch what they were able to do with really anyone at quarterback last season. I think they only got stronger here. So I like them. I think if the Giants are going to do anything this season, it's going to come in the second half. It's not going to be early week one here. Give me the Vikings on the money line.
Yeah, Alex, this is an interesting one. I tend to think maybe I cheated a little bit here. Maybe you agree with this. Let me just throw out there. I kind of like the under with the New York Giants in terms of their win total is 6.5, but I have reason to believe you agree with Mike McClure on this one.
Absolutely, Sia. Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Mike here. I absolutely think this Vikings team is being seriously slept on, and I also think this Giants team is a bit overrated. But regarding the Vikings, I just love what they did in the offseason. I think defensively they got a lot better. Also, I would add that this defense down the stretch over the second half of the season, despite not having a lot of high-end personnel, performed very well for defensive coordinator Brian Flores, who I believe is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. But they added a bunch of quality starters, in my opinion. Jonathan Gennard coming off a 12.5 sack season, Blake Cashman, Andrew Van Ginkel. These are chess pieces for Flores that he's going to use all over the field. So I think this defense for the Vikings has top 10 upside. And when look at their offense, they're just extremely talented. Mike mentioned we don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback, but I frankly don't think it matters. I think they're just loaded top to bottom. They also made a significant upgrade at running back, replacing Alexander Madison, who was one of the least effective starting running backs in the NFL, with Aaron Jones, who offers pass catching chops that Madison did, and a lot more burst there as well. Looking at this Giants team, I really just didn't feel like they, outside of the draft, made a lot of impact players as far as their offseason was concerned. I think this Vikings team is going to be very good. I like their win total over as well, but I like them to come out week one with a big statement win here. So I love them week one as well.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up the quarterback position because they've got a head coach that I think can bring out the best at the quarterback position, regardless of who it is. And I think that plays itself out in week one and the entire season, perhaps an underrated team. All right, well, we've faded the NFC East so far, Maestro, otherwise known as Larry Hartstein, or I should say Larry Hartstein, otherwise known as the Maestro. What's your play? Are we continuing with that theme?
Yeah, the only week one game I've bet is the Cleveland Browns getting 1.5 points against the Dallas Cowboys, who just continue to be inflated. But it's really about this matchup. Alex was talking about chess pieces. Jim Schwartz's defense has some chess pieces in Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Tomlinson up front against a Cowboys team. On the offensive line, you're starting a rookie left tackle, Tyler Guyton, who's never played left tackle before. He's a right tackle. He's going to be good. He's got all the tools. But your first start up against Myles Garrett, plus you have an unproven center, either rookie Cooper Beebe or Brock Hoffman. They made no improvements to the roster, basically. Bring back Zeke Elliott and sign a 32-year-old linebacker and Eric Kendricks. So they're just running it back, whereas the Browns, finally could have some decent quarterback play. Jerry Jeudy is a major upgrade to that offense. I know Nick Chubb is not ready to go yet, but Dante Foreman will be out there. And just it's really the Browns defense to take advantage of a weak Cowboys offensive line.
All right, well, I want to get to some Super Bowl futures and some Super Bowl long shots, but let me give my week one play out first. The Texans play at Indianapolis week one. And I know what you're thinking. I'm going to take the Texans. They're the new hot, sexy team. Wrong. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Colts are sneaky to win the AFC South, and I think they're going to win. I'm getting plus money. You can take the +1.5 if you want. I'm taking the money line +110. Anthony Richardson's going to be healthy. Jonathan Taylor's going to be healthy. This is a great offensive line. They upgraded along the defensive line. Defense a little underappreciated. Receiver position not loaded by any means like the Texans, but it's pretty good, and they've got a host of tight ends and Jelani Woods coming back healthy. I think this team is so under the radar. I like them beating the Texans and contending for the AFC South at +300 or longer.